Dun, da, dun, da, dun, da, da.
Okay, I guess we're doing something here. I don't know what that was about.
Okay, welcome to Adamant Ditto. We are still, in fact, alive. We're just busy because it's no longer summer.
Yep, pretty much.
Yep.
That's a good way of putting it.
We're doing a thing here. This is an idea that Kyle had. You want to elaborate on?
I know, he had an idea. Basically, we at Adamant Ditto are absolutely in love with the fact that Samus now has emotions. But everyone else is complaining that she shouldn't be scared of Ridley. But we're like, dude, Ridley's a freaking scary boss. Especially, I just beat Ridley in Other M the other day, so I'm like, why shouldn't she be scared? I mean, we've all been scared at bosses. There have been bosses that have scared the crap out of all of us, and that's what I want to talk about today. It's just bosses that have scared the crap out of all of us.
We're all gonna pick our favorite scary boss. Which boss scares us shitless the most? And yeah,
And Matt's gonna go first.
All right, I'm picking a boss that I've only played in one of the 2 games it's been in, but as you will see, I have seen it been fought, and it is friggin' terrifying. And I'm going with Nightmare from the Metroid series. Nightmare scares the living crap out of me, guys. Like, when you first run into it in Metroid Fusion, and it's like flying around in the background in a big silhouette, it's all like all this suspense, and then like you don't even go back to that part for like 16 more YouTube videos. And then like when you get to it, it's like it comes out of nowhere, and it's all like, and you shoot it a little bit, and it's like,
just like that.
It's not that scary. You know, its eyes start to like bleed goo, and you're like, whatever. And then like its face blows up, and you're like, ah! It's like this. It's so disgusting, and like Nintendo put all this detail into animating its face like dripping as you kill it, and it's so gross. And then just to scare the crap out of you some more, they threw it in Other M in 3D.
Yep.
You have to fight.
It's pretty
bad. And it's like squealing and like this. Oh, God, it's so freaky. And then, man.
That thing was Nightmare. It was, wasn't it?
Nightmare is another M. Yes, it is. And you kill it, and you're like, all right, that's the end of that. No more seeing that scary face. And you come back later. Oh, it's not dead. Fight it again. Now with face completely off. And I'm just like, no, Nintendo, no, I'm not doing that. All right.
Yeah.
Screw Nightmare. Nightmare is my pick for scary boss.
Nightmare is pretty frightening.
Nightmare was tough too. I'll go next since I'm probably the only person that finds it as scary as it really deserves to be.
All right.
Yeah?
All right, Kyle, go ahead.
Go ahead, yeah.
All right. My pick is actually from my favorite game of all time, which is another list for another day. But it is from Trauma Center, Under the Knife, Savato. It is the final strain of guilt in the series, and it is proportionately horrifying. It's like the first thing that happens is that when you open up the patient, it's like just after you apply the gel and cut the patient open, then you realize there's no music, and then you get super tense.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy because I don't want to interrupt you, but the music in that game is fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
It's very unsettling
when
you start an operation and there's just nothing.
And it just put me in the mood to have the ever-loving shit scared out of me, and it was when I open it up and find a spider on the man's heart. And there's what exactly?
Yeah, Savato's pretty creepy.
I thought tapeworms were gross.
And that was the guilt just before this, but it was a spider on the man's heart, and it has and it's ready for everything you can throw at it. In fact, the only way you can actually beat it is if you save your healing touch ability until like the very last second. It's like you can't, because if you use it too soon, then you cannot defeat it.
Don't you actually have to use it twice?
The game will use it for you once, and then is when you have to use it.
Right, because if you use it then, like, doesn't time stop?
Right. And
Yeah,
that's the only time you
pretty
can
awesome.
actually get it.
Pretty
But
awesome.
it's like the entire time it's like shooting acid webs at you. It's got tiny spiders. It's cutting lacerations in the heart the entire time, doing all sorts of horrible, horrible things. As well as, but again on the music, some of the most intense music I can recall.
Yeah, it's a really good game, and the last boss is pretty freaking terrifying.
I've never played
Savato
Trauma
is...
Center.
Savato will, in fact, give you nightmares.
Yup. Alright.
So, Jess, you have the floor.
Okay. She's technically not a boss, but Lisa Trevor scares the crap out of me. Simply because, A, her character design is creepy, and I find the fact that she ripped off the faces of 2 people and attached them to her own body quite disgusting. This is why I don't play Resident Evil games that often.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm a big wuss when it comes to like horror.
I'm super pussy.
I only own Resident Evil 4 and I didn't even beat that because I'm just like I have to play in like a completely lit room, like with the windows open and like the dog next to me, like protection.
In the daylight.
Yeah, I don't play Resident Evil after dark.
No.
I'm 19 years old.
Resident Evil is definitely well known for that.
Yes, it is.
Alright, so I guess I'll go. Unless you want to add anything else, Jess.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. So, Ocarina of Time is not a horror game. I would not call it one. But
What
there is
about
a horror
those,
game.
zombies?
There is a horror game contained within Ocarina of Time, and that is the Spirit Temple.
Oh, God.
But before you get to the Spirit Temple, you get a rude awakening, even worse, because you're in under the well as a little kid. They specifically made sure that you were little kid Link for this boss. So you walk into this room, right? And it's like this weird like cave. There's like mud on the ground. It's like quicksand or something. And there's like this skeletal arm sticking out of the ground. And like that's pretty creepy already. But when you get anywhere near it, it grabs you by the head. And you can't you can't escape, you know? And then the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life comes out of the ground. I'm talking about Dead Hand. He looks like this really terrifying combination of like a skeleton and a pile of lard. And I know that doesn't sound very scary at all.
It sounds pretty scary to me.
But he's got this really long, like, giraffe neck and this, like, Jay Leno jaw. And, you know, he grabs you with these skeletal arms that are sticking out of the ground. And, like, he tries to, like, bite your face off. And it's like, holy... I clearly must have blocked it out. Because I beat Ocarina of Time and completely forgot about Dead Hand. You know, I must have repressed it. Because I'm playing the game years later on the GameCube. On, like, the anniversary disc. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? Oh my god.
Thought they just added a new boss, like, hey.
Yeah. So,
Nightmares.
yeah, it's...
Nightmares.
I think Nightmare is really scary. I think Savato is really scary. But Dead Hand takes the cake for me.
I think we'll
I just gotta add one little thing in here. I don't care what anybody says. Redead still scare the crap out of me.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Too.
But they're not a boss, so.
I love Ocarina of Time, but I hate the Redeads.
I think Redeads are scarier in friggin' Wind Waker than in...
That's
It looks so goofy.
Anyway, Don, do you have anything?
I don't know, that's tough. But I guess I'll have to say, Midgar Zalem. Like, cause in Final Fantasy VII, cause you're just like walking through the thing and then on the overworld and then this like snake-like thing comes up to you and then it rapes your party. And then you're done. Pretty much.
I think the scariest thing about the Midgar Zalem is that it's the only enemy in the game you can see on the overworld. You know? Like, it's coming for you.
The other bosses, like,
I'm talking
So,
about like
not
the
the
over,
boss.
like the. I'm talking about like the Earth overworld, not like in you know. You know what I mean? Like when you're walking around outside of towns or caves or anything, like on the world map. You know, it's the only boss that you can like see, except Ultimate Weapon. So fuck me.
Well, the Ultimate Weapon's really scary too, man. Ultimate Boss 7, they're pretty scary.
Yeah.
But specifically the snake-like dude being impaled.
Yeah, that was nasty. So that's our picks. Sorry that we lost Kyle.
He
Because
hopes
it was his idea.
he hopes you enjoyed it. That's what he told us to tell you.
Yeah.
And
After roboting out.
but as you've learned, we're all gigantic wusses, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Later.